This is fucking ridiculous. I'm just going to come straight out and say it. This whole story of Khamzat Chimaev fighting Sean Strickland for the title is ridiculous. We saw Dana White say it on the weekend.
Hopefully his hand's not broken, and hopefully we can do this title fight.
You serious?
And I had reservations and I mentioned it in my last video, but this is ridiculous. There's a bombshell story here that's out there in the ether for so many people to talk about, and none of them are choosing to talk about it. I'm not even going to go down the route of, can he beat Sean Strickland? Whose cardio is better? Clearly it's Strickland. This is way too important. This is part of the story that just shows you how absolutely and utterly sneaky Dana White is in terms of having his feelings hurt or being a spoiled brat and wanting everything his own way. It's so annoying. I'm going to get into the bombshell story in 2 seconds time. Before I do, if you can hit subscribe, I'd really appreciate that. Thank you very much, sir. Let's get straight on to it, right? Contender in exile, Khamzat Chimaev can't enter the United States to claim his title shot. We saw Dana White on the weekend saying that he was going to get a title shot. I hope his arm isn't broken. Apparently his arm is broken.
I think I broke my hand, man.
And we're still going to wait. Let me ask one question. Where is Dricus du Plessis in this whole scenario? Because he went against the grain and he upset Dana's feelings, he's out. Patting out cold Robert Whittaker, the second best middleweight of all time after the great Israel Adesanya. That's not good enough to get a title shot apparently in the UFC. And you know what? I am being hypocritical. I'm very biased. I'm not one of these unbiased people that come out there and pretend to be some sort of MMA expert that's coming at this from a level head. There's no level head. I'm all over the place most of the time. I have my favorites and that's it. I'll be straight up about it. Colby Covington is getting a title shot without doing anything, without beating anyone in the top 10. It's bullshit as well. It's bullshit. He's one of my favorite guys, one of my favorite styles of fighter. It's bullshit. As simple as that. He shouldn't be getting it. And half of the fun is just trying to annoy people online. You know what I mean? Just being a little bit of a troll going, yeah, he deserves it. He deserves it more than Belal Muhammad. Belal Muhammad has a fantastic record. He has beaten guys. He is boring. Nobody knows his name. Fair enough. That is what it is. If we talk about Khamzat Chimaev, does he deserve a title shot after losing to Kamaru Usman the other night, after losing to Gilbert Burns? Does he deserve a title shot? Strickland says no fucking way should he be getting a title shot. I'm saying no fucking way he should be getting a title shot. I'm also saying that Dana, this is bullshit, man. This is bullshit. And instead of people talking about cardio online, they should be calling out Dana. Is that a controversial thing to do? Call out your boss. What about your Luke Thomas? What about your Chael Sonnens? What about your Michael Bispings? What about all these guys? Are you going to call it out for what it is? Complete and utter bullshit? Let's see. There's so much in this article that's interesting. Khamzat apologizes to Dana for not being able to finish Kamaru Usman. And I'm not even getting into the controversial conversation. I think Kamaru Usman won that fight. Kamaru Usman won that fight the other night. I watched it back. He won that fight. People that are coping hard saying that the first round was a 10-8. It was a 10-8 in terms of control. It wasn't a 10-8 in terms of damage. People that were scoring the second round a 10-9 to Khamzat. No, absolutely not. Way more damage was done by Kamaru Usman. We saw him land repeatedly, doing more damage, I believe. Third round, razor thin, I'd given it to Kamaru Usman. 100%. That's where I am with it. So you didn't win that fight. So now you're getting a title shot after not winning a fight against a welterweight that just moved up on 12 days notice and you've had like 6 months to prepare. All that shit comes into play when we talk about what's going on here in terms of Dricus du Plessis not getting a title shot next. Not to mention the shit that's inside in this article. Nobody's talking about this stuff. I'm going to read a little bit here, but there's a bombshell down in the bottom here that's absolutely crazy. I can't believe it. In an interview, Chimaev's coach, hours before the fight with Usman, confirmed that Khamzat was unable to travel freely due to the Russian passport and the ongoing war in Ukraine. And because of his cozy relationship with Chechen leader Kadyrov. Fine. We all kind of knew that. It gets breezed over a lot when you see pictures of him hanging out with Kadyrov. You can have your own opinions on the Ukraine and Russia thing, like you can have your own opinions on everything that's going on in the world right now. It's very, very nuanced and it's very, very grey, and you can't even get into it too much because you're going to get attacked. So you decide whatever you need to decide in terms of whether he should be hanging out with Kadyrov or whether he shouldn't. He goes on to say it's especially hard for someone with a Chechen passport. But anyone that knows the story and and is following what's going on knows that everybody is trying to corner Russia with sanctions. So far there's nothing new. Chimaev recently emigrated to Dubai. He's also received a 10-year visa from Abu Dhabi, and he says that he hopes that there's some sort of arrangement that could be coming where Khamzat might be able to travel sort of with a United Arab Emirates travel document. That sounds promising, but the UAE passport might not be good enough for the US State Department. The clock is now ticking for Khamzat Chimaev to sort out his ability to travel. Sean Strickland just won the middleweight title against Israel Adesanya in September. That means that he'll be ready to defend sometime early in 2024. How fast can the wheels move for Khamzat to get the passport that lets him travel freely again? United Arab Emirates is notoriously tight when it comes to their citizenship. Fortunately for the middleweight contender, the UFC have strong ties with various powers in the UAE government. Cool, UFC are going to pull strings and seeking to get him a passport to get into America and fight. Here is the bombshell part. There's also another possibility. The UFC and Saudi Arabia recently announced a special March event to be held in Riyadh. A middleweight title fight between Strickland and Chimaev could be perfect for the main event to kick off this new relationship. But what do we do after that if Khamzat wins and still can't compete in America? Here we have a crazy bombshell that just adds to an already fucked up situation. Dricus du Plessis destroys Robert Whittaker, becomes the #1 contender, cannot fight because he's injured, and that puts him to the bottom of the list in Dana's book. Khamzat Chimaev doesn't beat anybody in the middleweight division, fights a 170er, loses that fight, still gets the win because of nefarious actions in the background between the UAE and UFC, and now he's getting a title shot that can only be fought on foreign ground. And if he wins, then he can only defend it on foreign ground. How in the name of God does this make sense? How is there not every MMA pundit out there going after this story, calling Dana White out, going, bro, what are you doing? First of all, he ain't ready. He ain't ready. He lost to Kamaru Usman and he lost to Gilbert Burns. He ain't ready for a title shot. You want to give it to him because you think that it's the best chance for him to become a champion. You absolutely love the numbers that he brings in, and you love the area of the world where he inhabits because it has huge numbers coming in and there's nefarious deals flying left, back and centre over there, which was already alluded to in this article where it said that the UFC can pull a few strings and he doesn't have to be like every other schlub. Interesting, very interesting. And in that context then of fighters and being fair, we already spoke about Colby Covington. How is this fair? Energy that people putting into shitting on Colby Covington and his title shot online is crazy. And the grimace that you see on the faces of people like Big John McCarthy or Michael Bisping when they talk about Colby's title shot, they hate the fact he's getting it. But everyone seems to be okay with Khamzat getting it, right? Not everybody. Not everybody. Came across this yesterday. Really good take. Of course, there's a shill in this picture and he's having a shit attack at the idea that someone is saying that your boy isn't what we thought he was.
Yeah, I'm going to, maybe by unpopular opinion, I'm going to say this, that Khamzat Chimaev is not who we thought he was. I don't think he's what everyone thought he was.
Okay. Let me go back. I'm going to go back because that was too funny. Okay, let's center in on Big John McCarthy's face here and just try to work out what's going through the mind.
Khamzat Chimaev is not who we thought he was. I don't think he's what everyone thought he was.
Okay.
I don't think he'll ever be champion.
Wow. Because you know that what he gets next.
No, that's my next thing.
Okay.
Wait, he gets a title shot off of that? Last I saw, du Plessis just knocked out Robert Whittaker. Before that, he should have got the title shot.
No. Did Dana not come out and say this fight?
Yes, he actually came out and said it again, that he's looking forward to making that fight. I'm lost.
Okay.
I'm lost as well. Fair play to Josh Thompson calling it out there. Calling it out. Did du Plessis just break Robert Whittaker up into a million pieces? Is he not the next in line? What are we doing here? What are we doing? One person there has the balls to call it out. You can see is not liking it whatsoever. He's having a heart attack there in the background. No, that's gone. And you have Dana absolutely shilling. I hope that his hand will be okay. Oh my God, I hope that his hand will... Why is there nobody talking about this section here that I have highlighted? Where Khamzat cannot travel into the US. It's looking extremely unlikely unless the UFC pull a bunch of strings for him. Alternatively to that, there's going to be another Saudi Arabian deal in March. So if Dana makes Strickland wait until March to fight Khamzat in Saudi Arabia or UAE or wherever this deal has been done, that's insanity, right? And if he wins, he can only defend his belt over there? Wow. Bombshell. Absolute bombshell. How many people are going to talk about it? Let me know your thoughts down below. Hit like, subscribe, share. As I said, I appreciate you. Cheers.